how they take the hand they're dealt and turn it into something completely unexpected, something beautiful. Well, that's a story I know all too well. It's my story. And I want to share it with you, not for sympathy, but to show you that your starting point doesn't define your destination. I grew up in a home that was filled with love, but it was also split in two. My parents were separated, but they were amazing. They co-parented with so much care and respect, ensuring my brother, my little sister, and I never felt like we were missing out on a loving family. We were a team, navigating life's ups and downs together. Money was always tight. We weren't a family that could afford fancy things or expensive schools. My education was a patchwork of public institutions, the kind of places people don't always expect great things to come from. And to be honest, for a long time, no one really expected much from me academically. Throughout my school years, I was never the top student. I was just average. The idea of me going to university, let alone graduating, seemed like a distant dream, almost a fantasy. I remember hearing the soft whispers, the unspoken doubts from relatives and even some teachers. She's a sweet girl, but maybe college isn't for her. It wasn't mean-spirited, just a reflection of their reality and what they saw in front of them. It was a constant low hum in the background of my life. I wanted to prove them wrong, but more importantly, I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. So I buckled down. University was a huge challenge. It was a world away from the schools I was used to. I felt like an underdog every single day. There were times I was so overwhelmed, so convinced that everyone else was smarter and more prepared. I'd sit in the library, surrounded by books, feeling like an imposter. They never once doubted I could do it, even when I doubted myself. Slowly but surely, I found my rhythm. I learned how to study effectively, how to manage my time, and how to ask for help. And then the day came, graduation day. Walking across that stage to receive my degree was one of the most surreal moments of my life. I looked out at my family, my parents beaming, my siblings cheering wildly. In that moment, I wasn't just holding a piece of paper. I was holding the physical proof that I had defied the odds. After graduation, the real world hit, and it hit hard. The job market was tough, and the pressure to support my family was immense. That's when an opportunity came up, one that most of my friends and family couldn't understand. A job in an Arab country. It sounded exotic and full of promise. The decision was agonizing. Here I was, a university graduate, about to travel thousands of miles to clean someone else's home. The judgment was immediate. You have a degree. Why would you do that? People would ask, their faces a mix of confusion and pity. It felt like I was taking a huge step backward after fighting so hard to move forward. But for me, it wasn't about pride. It was about love. It was about providing for my younger sister's education, about helping my parents, about creating a safety net for my family. So, with a heavy heart but a clear purpose, I packed my bags and flew to a new world. Life as a housemaid was tougher than I could have ever imagined. The days were long, the work was physically demanding, and the loneliness was crushing. I was in a foreign land, surrounded by a language I didn't speak and a culture I didn't understand. I missed my family with an ache that was almost physical. I scrubbed floors and washed dishes, my mind often drifting back to my university days, to the dreams I had. It was a humbling and at times humiliating experience. I felt invisible, my degree and my ambitions hidden beneath an apron. There were many nights I cried myself to sleep, wondering if I had made a terrible mistake. But even in the midst of the hardship, that little fire inside me hadn't gone out. I started to observe the world around me, the vibrant arts scene in the city. Since I was a little girl, I loved performing. But in this place where I felt I had lost my identity, the dream came roaring back to life. I knew I couldn't stay a housemaid forever. My spirit craved more. I started saving every penny I could, planning my escape. I had no safety net, just a small amount of savings and a huge, crazy dream. I took on tiny unpaid roles just to be near the stage, to learn to absorb everything I could. I'd practice my lines in my tiny rented room until the early hours of the morning, and then, slowly, things started to change. A director saw something in me, a raw energy, a passion that couldn't be taught. It taught me that no job is beneath you when you redoing it for the people you love. My journey has been anything but conventional. A girl from a poor background, the university graduate who became a housemaid, and the housemaid who became an actress. Because I want you to know that your circumstances don't have the final say. Feed that fire inside you. Be willing to do the hard, unglamorous work. Be prepared to be misunderstood. But never, ever give up on the person you know you can become. My story is proof that you can rewrite your own script at any time. Thank you so much for listening. If my story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more. I'll see you in the next one.